A mate of mine pulled me up the other day and said, Josh, why are you giving that away for free? You should be charging. Now, honestly, that stuck with me because I didn't actually build this to sell it. I built it because I personally was frustrated. Frustrated with losing trades that I should have won. And frustrated with knowing what I was doing wrong and still doing it anyway. I've read the books and I understand the theory, but nothing was actually changing my behavior at the screen. So I just went ahead and built something that would. And what you're going to see today is exactly what that looks like and how you can get it completely free at the end of the video. Now, here's the problem with most traders' journal. They track the trade. You have your entry, your exit, your profit and loss. Maybe they chuck a screenshot, maybe even a quick note, and they think that's enough. But you probably know already it's not, because the trade isn't where the problem is. The problem is what was happening in your head before you placed it. Now, the emotion that made you jump in early, the ego that stopped you cutting the loss, and the frustration from yesterday that was still sitting in your chest when you opened the charts. A spreadsheet doesn't capture that. And if you're not capturing it, you're not actually learning. You'll see the same mistakes repeat, different week, different setup, but the same outcome. And then you'll wonder why nothing's changing despite putting the hours in. The reason most traders plateau isn't a strategy problem. It's actually a self-awareness problem. And that's exactly what a proper psychological journal fixes. Right now, this is what you see on the screen once you've clicked in that link in the description. The trading psychology journal, where you track your trades, track your minds, and find the pattern. So you've got new entry, you've also got journal, so you can see a couple of them trades, and then insights as well. Stay tuned, I'm going to be going through the entire process. Okay, so the first one is pre-trade psychology. All you have there is your date, the session. You have an option between London, New York, Asian, or London and New York overlap, and then your emotional state before trading. Why is this important? Because I know for myself, if I've had a bad night's sleep, or I've had an argument, or if I'm a little bit confused in the head, what I do is I go on here and I just put it. For example, if I was highly emotional that day, I can put it as a 10. I'm normally around about a 3 or a 4. I'm never a person that's 100% calm, but that's just me. It may be for you. How did you feel before this trade? So it gives you options as well: tired, anxious, confident, neutral, etc. And it also does save the ones you put in. So if you're always feeling confident or tired and unwell, then it will come up with an option. For this one, we're just going to put tired and unwell. Did you complete your pre-session checklist? Partially yes or no. Nice and simple. And then we go into the trade setup. This is where you put your details of the trade that you actually have done. Okay, so you've got your pair, your direction, which will be long or short. If you're new to trading, that means a long is a buy and a short is a sell. You have your time frame. So for example, it says 1 hour. I trade on the 5 minutes, so I always put 5 minute in there. That's why you constantly see them. And then your entry region. What was the setup? Now, be as detailed as possible in there, because it all saves and you can see exactly if you've missed part of your checklist or you've missed something out that you didn't realize. Now we've got the normal routine: entry, stop loss, take profit, how much you're risking per trade. I always recommend either 0.5% or 1%, because it just keeps it nice and clean. And if you're doing funded trading, then 1% or even 0.5% is the sweet spot, in my opinion. Risk to reward, for example, 1 to 2, that's what I target. But some people go for that 1 to 10, some people go for 1 to 5. You literally put your details in. Now, the post trade is when you come in once it's completed. So the outcome is win, loss, break even. Profit or loss in pips or pounds, that's totally up to you. And then, did you follow the rules? Did you follow your trading plan? Did you honor the stop loss, i.e. did you move the stop loss when the trade was going down thinking it's going to go further? Or did you just literally set and forget? Did you use the correct position size? Now, let me know down in the comments if you want me to build a position size for totally free. Just let me know in the comments. I can do that for you guys. Now, no revenge trading and no FOMO entry. Now, did you move your stop loss? Yes or no? So did you can move it, obviously. If you move it to break even, then that's perfect. But if you're moving it further away, so you think the market's just going to keep going up and then it will drop, then you will put that one in. And an emotional state during the trade. If you're a little bit anxious, if you're constantly checking the charts, you have to be completely honest here, guys. Now, down here is the reflection. Personally, I think this is the most important one. Okay, so what did you do well? Be completely honest with yourself. You're not blowing smoke up your own ass. This is just being honest for your journal. Okay, what would you do differently? So, for example, it says should have waited for the retest instead of entering early. Any triggers fired, so greed, fear, FOMO, revenge, or boredom. Lesson for next time, so you can trust your setup. The late entry cost 15 pips of drawdown, and screenshot reference. Okay, so I always put the screenshot reference on my computer, so I save that screenshot into a folder. But I could possibly look for the future to add in a like an image, so you can add your own image to this journal, so everything's all in one place, and then all you do is save that journal entry. Okay, so you've also got export data. So if you want to export it into like a Google Sheet or something like that, you can, and also import it. If you're using Google Sheet or Excel, you can import it down below. Now, once you've done that, you've got your journal. So for example, we can see I've got 3 wins here and 1 loss. 1 loss was for the rules broken. And then I also got a win on rules broken as well, which was just very fortunate. But if I click on them, so I can be completely transparent, you can see that I was trading London. Emotional state before was 2 out of 10. Confident. Pre-session checklist was yes. Long on 5 minute. Asia high swept. That's my strategy. Entry, risk, and then we've got the profit and loss 2000. Did I move? No. Followed the plan. I close trade at 2% win rate, even when having the feeling it will go further. I would keep the trade open to TP marked, fear that the trade wouldn't hit the TP, and then trust my setup fully, set and forget. And then I've got my reference there, which we also saw on that page. Now, what I think is important about this trading psychology journal is the insights. Okay, so we can see I've got total trades 4, win rate is 75, rules followed 50%, average emotional, pre and during. And then we've got 1 loss, 3 wins. Then you've got your psychology gap. Okay, so win rate when you follow your rules versus when you break them. Okay, so rules kept, I've got 100%. Rules broken is a 50% mark, which, let's be honest, 50% still isn't good in trading. Emotion versus outcome. So on wins, I was a 3. On losses, I was a 2. So that was actually a bit of a weird one. But which rules you break most often? Okay, so at the moment, FOMO entry is the one that I need to work on personally. Don't get me wrong, they're not a bad thing because I'm still 75% of these 4 trades I've taken. However, this will build and progress over time. And then session performance is London, because that's the only one I take. Now, the most common triggers for me is fear that trade wouldn't hit TP and fear when trade dumped quickly after being 1%. Now, the journal is completely free. There is no catch. The link is in the description, and it takes about 30 seconds to get access from my Stan store. Now, if you're serious about trading, download it today. Use this week, not next month, not when the next drawdown hits, this week. And drop down in the comments when you've done that, because the traders who actually improve aren't the ones who know the most, they're the ones who knows themselves. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and press that bell to be notified of my next video. I'll see you in the next one.